I decided to be lazy today, y'all, and recording my bed because... What's up, it's your girl Kiana. So as you can see by this title above, your girl is a dumb bitch. Your girl is a dummy. Okay, so just to clarify, this is an old story because this is with an old ex, not my recent ex. Therefore, this happened a minute ago. Happened like when I was in high school, and I'm not even in high school no more. So it happened a minute ago, so I had to really sit down and think about everything that happened so I could tell you guys. Okay, so the fake name for this ex is going to be Fred. I met Fred basically like my homeboys that went to school with me were friends with him. Fred didn't go to our school. Fred went to the school down the street. My homeboys was cool with him, so I kind of knew of Fred. I never actually knew Fred. I just knew of Fred because they were all like in this little group, I guess you can say, you know, as a reference. I'll say just how, if you guys know 99 Nation, you could say like they were like that, you know, as a group, you know, they were like known to be always together type stuff. So that's how I knew him. I just remember one night, the whole Instagram was being bold. Everybody was posting who they wanted, who they liked, who they thought looked cute. And I got posted by one of Fred's friends. So it was a slideshow. Like, it was like different girls on the, because you know you can like post multiple posts on Instagram. So I was one of the pictures in that multiple posted post. And Fred specifically said that I had looked good or whatever. So me being bold as well that night, I told Fred he looked good too. And Fred DM'd me, and that's how all this bullshit started. That's how all this bullshit started, because your girl wanted to jump on the bait that didn't need jumping on. Okay, so this happened around July-ish, by the way. Around this time, I was working in Savannah in the summer. I live in Atlanta, but I was working in Savannah that summer. So mind you, Fred can do what he want to do. You know, we talking, we not official, but to me, if we talking, we official, baby. Like, don't be talking about no ass. Anyways, just keep that in mind for literally the end of the story, that during July, me and Fred weren't official, but we were definitely talking, and I was not around in Atlanta in the summertime. So my first time ever seeing Fred in person, like after we were known to be a thing, would be my very first day of, oh, when did me and Fred date? It was, I want to say me and Fred started dating junior year. So I'm going to just say that my first time ever seeing him was junior year. And it was my first day. He offered me a ride home because he drove. At the time, I didn't even know how to drive. I didn't know how to drive at all. Fred taught me how to drive, actually. But that's later in our relationship. Anyways, he offered me a ride home. And you know me, I'm thinking like, oh, this finna be our first time meeting up together for real. Like, you know, I'm finna be with Bae. No. Fred had his two homeboys in the car in the back. And I was like, what is this? I'm just introducing y'all to Fred so you can get to know why I didn't realize these dumb signs earlier. So eventually, you know, Fred had officially asked me to be his girlfriend. Even though when he asked me, by that time I thought we was officially together anyway. You feel me? Like, I thought we was together anyways. But anyway, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Of course I said yeah, because I'm like, nigga, I thought we was together anyway. But after that, Fred would pick me up from school like literally every day, because he was only 7 minutes down the street and our schools got at the same time. So it wouldn't really take him too long to get to me, honestly, after school was out. So Fred had a best friend. We're gonna name her his best friend Angelina. Not that she really needs a name, but we're just gonna say it so I ain't gotta keep extending it. So Angelina is also a Virgo, and her birthday is 1 day before mine. My birthday is at the end of the month. I'm a August 31st baby. She's a August 30th baby, if I'm not mistaken. So Angelina was having a party bus, and I wanted to do something for my birthday. I want to say that my birthday was on a weekday, which is a school day. So therefore, I wanted to do something, I think the day before or the day before that. And Angelina was also having something going on. So Fred told me that if me and Angelina have something going on the same day, he's going to Angelina's stuff. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, you act like you can't be, you act like you wasn't there for her last year, or however long y'all been best friends for, or you act like, well, like, I'm not your girl. You act like this isn't. I was like low-key offended. But you know, I'm trying to play the new girlfriend role. I'm not trying to be crazy. I'm not trying to like have you in check. You know, I'm trying to be subtle. So I low-key, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like that at all. But it kind of worked out for him because I ended up planning a dinner with my 2 other friends who are also in the month of August, and we had a dinner together, but we put it in the middle of the month so all of us can like enjoy it around our birthdays. So for my actual birthday, I just went to the mall with my family and stuff like that. So anyways, mind y'all, like I said, her birthday is like a day or 2 before mine. So her party bus comes and I ended up getting like really sick. I got sick out of nowhere. I just remember I got sick out of nowhere. Even my mom said it. And I didn't feel good at all. So mind you, I'm at home being sick, playing housewife. I'm like, I'm not even finna bug his phone up, you know. I'm gonna let him chill. I'm gonna have his night. Like, I'm trying to be the new girlfriend. So I seen him in a couple of stories, but there wasn't nothing. Like, it was just people just sitting there, to be honest. So finally, my birthday comes. And I see Fred went out with his homeboys. You know, that's fine, you know, because I'm out with my family for my birthday. But let me tell y'all the problem. I'm going to backtrack on the dates for you real quick. So I want to say a week before my birthday, I wanted to go to a football game. But I wanted Fred to come with me. I wanted, you know, us to go out and go to a football game together, you know. I just wanted us to go to the football game together. And Fred didn't want to go. I was like, what? And y'all, I was fighting so hard for that boy to go to that football game, and he was not trying to go. So somehow he ended up being at the football game. I want to say he probably just dropped off his friends or whatever, but we came around the same time. So I seen him. He was out the car and everything at the gates, and he was really waiting on me to come so he could like say what's up to me and then go. Or I think he expected me to go with him. But that wasn't happening. Like, no, I said I want to come to the football game. Like, this is a lit football game. We need to be here, period. So all I remember was I didn't care what he was saying. I bought him a ticket, and I gave him the ticket. I said, you going to come in or you not? And I went inside. And he ended up coming in because it was like he kind of had no choice to, because I bought him a ticket. So when he came in, we like kicked it or whatever. We standing next to each other, but like barely really communicating, not gonna lie. And it was people coming up to him and stuff. You can tell people don't really know we date. So I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to sort this out after tonight because this is not gonna be happening. So like I didn't told y'all, Fred fighting me not to come to this dang game, basically. So on my birthday, when I seen him out with his homeboys at a football game, I didn't like that. Me and Fred was arguing on my birthday night. I didn't care because I'm like, why did it take me forever to get you to get inside that game? But you go with your homeboys and you willy-nilly want to go. But wait until y'all hear why Fred really wanted to go to that game. I'm a name this school Pembroke High School. And just know that the game Fred went to that night was Pembroke High School. Okay, so I don't remember how I found out about what happened. I don't know if he came out and admitted it, or if somebody told me to ask him about it, but it came out that what happened on the party bus, because mind you, this is after my birthday, this is after me and Fred got into it about him going to the game, that I then found out that what actually happened the night of Angelina's party bus was Fred had other bitches dancing on him. He get in the dance. Like, it ain't like they just dancing on him. Like, no, he's backing that thing up with them, like, type stuff, you know. And I'm like, for what? You know, I'm like, for what? And so I think when we were talking about it or whatever, he was saying that he didn't want Angelina to have a lame party bus or whatever. He wanted to make sure his best friend had a nice time. So he wanted to help spice up, you know, the party, get it lit, because nobody was trying to get lit. I'm like, why out of all people, you got to be the person to help? Like, it's other single people that are there. Mind you, who cares? Like, he was just saying, like, Fred was also saying that he wanted to be there so bad because it was his best friend, and he wanted to be there for her birthday so she won't feel alone. Y'all, Angelina's boyfriend was at her birthday. He was always supposed to be there, by the way. I'm like, Angelina got her nigga. Angelina got her dude. You, on the other hand, baby. I'm like, if it's such a problem that you gotta be there, why don't Angelina just invite me? But anyways, like I was saying, back to the dumb remark that he made about the fact that even though he's taking, he felt comfortable enough to be the person to be letting girls dance all up on him, twerking, throwing that thing back, and him catching it. It just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, yo, da 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 da. Like, I'm naming all these people that are there and single, baby. And not only that, people there that are taken and did not do none of that. Like, so that made me and Fred get into it. But like the dumb girl I am, I remember that I told him, you know, that's your one strike. That's it. You know, next strike, be done. Okay, so after that incident, you know, the whole party bus, the whole football thing, me and Fred would just argue like every day, all day. And the same, I remember this. It was every time I was in science class, I'm sitting here just arguing with Fred, like just going at it with him. Like just, boy, like some days I walk in that boy crying, like your girl was like going through it with him. So eventually tension rose down between us and November came. So me and Fred had mutual friends. Like I said, Fred's from another school. So my homeboy that went to my school, we're going to name him AJ. So AJ had a girlfriend who went to Fred's school. We're going to name her Riri. So Riri and AJ date. AJ is my homeboy. I don't know Riri like that. I only know Riri because she dates AJ. I've never met Riri in person. I only know her through social media and AJ posting her. Riri and Fred know each other close though. They close because they go to the same school. Me, AJ knew each other. We close. We went to the same school. Keep that in mind. So AJ was cheating on Riri. Like, it wasn't bad, but he was cheating on her. Basically flirting with other people and stuff like that. And I didn't like that he was cheating on her because she came out on her spam saying how much she loved him. Like a really, really, really long paragraph for everybody to see. And I thought that was really embarrassing. So I told her. I was a buzzkill. I know. I'm fed. But I told her. And they didn't break up, by the way. Y'all know how girls is. Like how dumb I was. They didn't even break up, but it did make me and AJ not talk as much as we used to. So, all I remember is that Fred got really super mad that I told Riri that, he got way more mad than AJ that I told Riri that AJ was cheating. Like, me and him are now arguing about me telling, like, we're going at it. We're arguing again. We're going back and forth. Like, he's super, super, super mad that I told on AJ. And I'm just like, bro, chill out. Like, keep that in mind, though. Because I end up putting two and two together in the end. So, eventually, after all that cools down with that whole situation, Riri ends up telling me, like, hey, it's this girl I know. We're going to call her Shannon. It's this girl. No, she don't know Shannon, by the way. My bad. She said it's this girl Shannon that she seen, I think, or heard be all up on the gang. And remember how I told y'all, like, my homeboys from the high school were all basically, like, not in a gang, but, like, they were all, you know, always together. So everybody knew them as a group. So she was like, it's this girl named Shannon, you know, she be on all of them. Like, she be on both of ours. Like, I heard that, whatever, da-da-da. Like, you should check into that because I'm a check her about it for sure. So I'm like not really stunning it. I'm like, you know, Fred know what's up. He should know Fred should know. So then she tells me again. She was like, yo, tell me why Shannon did this to AJ, da-da-da-da. I had to check her or whatever. I don't know if she ever checked her or whatever, but she was just telling me, like, Shannon keep being in AJ and Fred's face. I'm steady like, nah, I ain't worried about no dang Shannon. Like, Shannon ain't touching me. Like, mind y'all, remember I told y'all about Pembroke High School? That's where Shannon go. Like I said, after the whole, you know, thing that happened between AJ and Riri and me telling on AJ. Me and Fred get to arguing about dumb stuff over and over again and again. So we're back arguing couple once again. And finally, I'm like, you know, I think we should break up type stuff. Like, this is just not finna work out. I'm not finna keep arguing with you. And he didn't want to, basically. Like, we just kind of had finally, because he's, I don't want to say his zodiac sign, because y'all gonna definitely know who I'm talking about if you know me for real. He's really reserved type stuff. So it was kind of different for us to finally actually open up about how we felt about each other. So instead of breaking up, we didn't break up. And that was very dumb. I should have broke up with him. I should have. Because within that same month, because we in December now. Within that same month, y'all, New Year's Eve, this is what happened. So my friend, I'm going to say her name because she probably don't care, Simone, knew Shannon. So on Shannon's spam, Shannon was like, oh, I can't wait till my man come back on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day, so I can do this and this and that to him. Peep this, y'all, though. Fred just left to go to his hometown. He don't get back to that same day Shannon was talking about on her spam. So me not really even worrying about it at first. I'm like, just ask her who she's talking about, you know, because she's, Simone said that Shannon be telling her stuff about her little boos and crushes, so maybe Shannon might tell her who she's talking about from her spam. So Simone asked Shannon who she's talking about, and Shannon's acting stuck up. Shannon act like she don't want to spill the tea. And eventually it gets to a point where you can tell Shannon knows that Simone is asking for me. So Shannon just comes out and says, if she want to know or whatever, she should ask her nigga. I was like, so I'm like, something is going on here. Like, we didn't went snooping for something we didn't even want to find. So just so happens that I had Shannon's Snapchat. But let me tell y'all this. This Snapchat been following me for a minute. Like, since my birthday type stuff. Not only that, another person added me at the same exact time that Shannon added me. And it's also watching my story every time Shannon watched my story at the same exact time. So these people have been watching me consistently since my birthday. But let me say I was so messed up about it, and I will. Anyways, so I go and text Shannon because, like I said, she added me a while ago. And I'm like, yo, like, what you mean? Like, you know, I'm hitting her up, but I didn't even hit her up on no mean stuff. I just hit her up on some, you know, casual junk, and Shannon comes out with the guns. Like, she's not feeling me at all. She's telling me, like, you need to go ask your man, da-da-da. Like, she got a smart mouth type stuff. And I'm like, yo, chill out. I'm not trying to beef with you, none of that. I'm just simply asking you, like, what happened between you and Fred, because clearly something happened. I'm trying to be nice. And Shannon comes back again with a mean, nasty attitude. So finally, I'm like, and I just start going off on her. I'm like, you're not finna sit here and keep disrespecting me, and I'm trying to be nice to you when you're the person messing with my man. So me and Shannon, we going back and forth, and finally, I'm not finna keep arguing with you. So I ended up hitting up Riri, and I'm like, bro, tell me why something did happen between Shannon and Fred. And I'm telling her what happened. I'm telling her what Shannon is saying when I hear her up. And Riri like, like, I'm finna hit her up and I'm finna check her, because that means she probably did something with my man. So Riri hits her up, checks her, whatever. I don't know what said, but I don't know this till the morning time. Mind y'all, during this whole time, I can't contact Fred because he's at his hometown. And not only that, he broke his phone while he was there. So the last time I talked to him was on Snapchat, because he logged into somebody else's Snapchat so he could text me and tell me that he broke his phone, whatever. So I'm not even hearing from him right now. So I wake up the next morning and Ree was like, check your DMs. So I'm checking my DMs. I ain't got nothing in them. She's like, check your request. So I check my request. I open a group chat. This group chat is banging, going off the charts, like just blowing up. It's me, Riri, Simone, and then it's Shannon, about 3, maybe 4 of her friends in the group chat. And all her friends just going off like, oh, you not finna come for my friend, da 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 da, just saying stuff, like, just going off for, they trying to, like, defend Shannon the best way possible, even though Shannon is clearly in the wrong here. So, me, I'm the type of person, like, I just don't like people coming for me, trying to be smart, none of that. So, I accept the whole group chat. I come in just arguing with, I'm lining them up in a row, just going back and forth with everybody. I don't care who you is. I don't care what you say. Anything you say, I'm going to say something back to it. And we finna go back and forth about it. Like, so now the whole group chat is arguing. Like, everybody going back and forth with each other. Like, everybody like, oh, you need to check your man. You need to ask your man. And we're like, no, bitch, you shouldn't be messing with her, man. Like, we're just going back and forth. Don't even know what happened between them. Don't even know what happened. We just going back and forth. So, mind y'all, this whole entire time while everybody's arguing, Shannon's not saying a word. She's watching, but she's not saying a word. And I'm like, this is irritating me because this is all because of you. You want to go out here and be a city girl with somebody else's man, and now you don't have nothing to say. You being scared. You being scared. Mind y'all, her friends is the one who started the group chat because they got mad that we came for her. But you were messing with my man. But wait till I tell y'all what they did. So finally, the group chat comes down to a certain extent where we can actually communicate. And one of the girls finally decided to come out and say what happened between Shannon and Fred. So basically what happened was Shannon and Fred were fucking for about 2 months, I want to say. And I didn't even know it. Like, literally, I never would have had a clue. I never got any vibe to feel like he was messing with anybody else. We were arguing a lot, yes, but I never was given the vibe that he was sneaking off, you know. So, it blindsided me, but I didn't care. So, yeah. And not only that, what made it worse is that he took her virginity. So, I was just like, Shannon finally came out and wanted to confirm the story and say that it was true. Not only that, where they messed with each other when we first started talking in July. Not only that, he was also trying to have a threesome with another girl and her in July when we were first popping out. Not only that, she was telling me that the only reason that they even did it multiple times is because he kept telling her that we weren't together. But she also admitted to the fact that some of the times that they did it, she knew we was together because she was following me. She was watching me. She knew we was still together, but she said she was being a dumb bitch. I ain't care if we was being namaste, none of that. I ain't care if we did all the little arguing, but I've been like, I really want to chump you off because how can you be watching me knowing that you're fucking my nigga? That's disrespectful. Mind you guys, I have still not talked to Fred. I remember I texted Fred. I told him, I'm like, yo, we done. Like, that's dead. I don't know what you had going on with old girl, but we're done. So finally, Fred texted me back, and he was like, he just said, I'm sorry. That was it. That's all Fred said. He was sorry. He still didn't have his phone fixed or whatever. So, mind you, I'm finding all this out basically on New Year's Eve type stuff. So I didn't really feel no type of way about it, but I was definitely like hurt. But I didn't care that, you know, that I was cheating on, which is funny. I just cared like about my image. I'm like, bro, that means so many people knew. Cause basically the girls were telling me like they knew, like they been knew. Not only that, but his friends knew, they knew. I'm like, damn, everybody knew except me. After we broke up, I started finding out more people knew that I was getting cheated on. I'm like, bro, damn. Like, I'm over here trying to save Riri and your girl over here flooding. So, that's when I put 2 and 2 together that Fred was so mad that I told him AJ because he was cheating. Like, AJ probably was finna be like, yo, I'm finna tell on you since your girl telling on me. And that's probably why Fred was like trying to check me so bad. It was just like a lot of stuff was like starting to come together for me to realize like Fred was cheating. So finally Fred gets a phone or whatever to be able to text people and post, because he's posting. I ain't heard nothing from Fred. All I got was I'm sorry. So by this time, I just sent Fred like 4, 5, 6 paragraphs cussing him out, like for real. And all he did was like read it. So that didn't sit right with me. I texted him. I'm like, so you're not gonna say nothing? Like, you ain't gonna say? He was just like, I mean, you kind of hurt my feelings in the paragraphs. Like, bro, what? I hurt your feelings? Really? He was just saying some dumb stuff, honestly. To me, it seemed like Fred he knew he was gonna get caught and it was his time, and he was like, I surrender. But the girl was telling me like he was trying to do a real good job of hiding, because I've been supposed to have known. I was supposed to have known in November. Originally, remember, Riri was trying to warn me in November. I was supposed to have known in November, but they kept saying that Fred kept telling them not to tell me because he was going to tell me, but he kept holding it off and this and that. So now me and Fred are broken up. But, y'all, the story don't even stop there, yo. So, I have a very strong instinct, boy. I got a very strong instinct about a lot of stuff. And something taught me to call Fred. So, I called Fred, like a dumb bitch I am, or whatever. I'm like, what you doing? Because I was seeing on, like, Instagram and Snapchat, like, I seen my friend, who I'm going to just name her Emily, and Fred, like, I seen that they were around each other a couple times. It's only been twice, too, by the way. Like, not too friendly, but it was enough for my instincts to tingle. So I called him one day after school, and he was acting like, what, bro? Like, what you want? Like, I didn't did something to him type of stuff. So I put it on my Snapchat after I got off the phone with Fred, because that day my other friends told me she seen Emily and Fred hanging out together in the parking lot. I'm like, Fred don't even go here. What Fred doing here? Hey, me and Fred don't date. Fred don't have no business here no more. Like, what he need to be here after school for? So I go on my Snapchat, I put, bitches always want my leftovers, which is funny because another situation that happened before a long time ago. And they knew exactly what I was talking about, because Fred swiped up and was like, you tripping. Not only that, Emily's best friend swiped up and tried to check me about it. So that's how exactly I knew that him and Emily had something going on. And it made me upset because Emily was a close friend of me. Like, Emily's met my mom. Emily's came over. Have I went over her house? I don't know. But I know Emily's mom. She knows my mom. I know, like, me and Emily are close. We were just hanging out a week before. Like, I'm like, it was just disrespectful for me. Like, for Emily to go for it and for him to even try to mess with her. So, basically, they were a thing or becoming a thing. But I stepped in, caught onto it, and Emily kind of backed out because she realized how it would look on her image. And then Emily also tried to flip it on me and said that I was trying to mess with her ex, which I wasn't. High school junk, bruh. I'm so glad I'm done with that. But yeah, what you can get from this was Fred was a cheating ass nigga, didn't give a fuck. And it's real funny because if I was to ask him right now today, like, why'd you cheat? He would just be like, he don't know. He dead ass just will say he don't know. So that's the end of that story. So I got cheated. And I'm able to tell the story how I am today because it really made me a stronger person, honestly. Like, not overall, but like, with certain situations, like, I know how to bounce back from a nigga now. Like, if somebody was trying to play me, somebody was trying to cut me off, somebody was trying to do me wrong, I wouldn't care. Like, I'd be like, bro, okay, do you? Like, so thank you, Fred, for making me boy tough, because I really don't be caring what these niggas be doing. So, if y'all like that story, let me know. Or if I gotta do it over, let me know, because I might have talked fast. I probably didn't get too into detail. If you want to hear another story time, ask for a part 2. And I'm going to give you one. I'm going to find a juicy one for y'all. So let me know. Love you. Like, comment, subscribe.